I worked in social for a long time. These startups, they treat Twitter as their newswire. This is guaranteed minute by minute breaking stories, breaking news. So now the task was simple. How can I scrape it? We've already scraped 50 tweets, and I never like to undervalue the power of automation. Imagine how much time it would have taken you to collect all this information for 50 tweets. That just took us less than 45 seconds. We're gonna actually go super deep into a full content strategy. You can see here all this stuff that we have in terms of the idea, the supporting data, and analyzing the topic, the actual contrarian take. It's great just to be able to every single day wake up to early news stories. This is literally posted October 29th today at 8 a.m. I could be posting about this in the next hour, get it up in 2 hours, and I'm still within 12 hours of this announcement being posted. Sent to our email every single day with the best stories in AI or whatever your niche is. So you can also literally use this Twitter scraper to basically put together your own newsletter. You can see here, it's literally giving me the tweets that are trending on X. It'll actually take you straight to it. I already know who it is. Sir Lifehacker once again, here with another banger to turn you into a social media machine, a content creator that can honestly beat out hundreds, if not thousands, of other content creators and competitors with this workflow. It'll really make a lot more sense if I just tell a super quick story about a guy killing it with social media, known online as RPN. You guys already know about RPN. I don't even know why I'm saying it like this. If you've ever basically been on Instagram, you've probably seen this guy. One of the top creators, honestly, on the internet, worldwide, for sure. He basically talks about tech and AI. He also has multiple pages. He also has this page too that just posts about AI. That page is killing it too. And the big thing is that he's the guy who's first on everything. That's his big thing. That's his niche. That's his shtick. That's his competitive advantage. He's the first on everything. If OpenAI sneezes, he's already got a 90-second video breaking it down. And he's not just summarizing it. He's giving a full creative take. He's spinning it into a mini documentary. He's got these intentionally planned hooks, guaranteed to make you stop scrolling. He looks at social media like a slot machine. Speed isn't about posting more. It's about owning the window. The first 12 to 24 hours, when the internet is hungry for context on a new release, a new product, a new service, a new software, etc. That's how he blew up. So how are we going to get you to that point? That's the question of this video. I obviously decided that I wanted to build this for myself to reach that same level of success. He can't just hog all of it. Somebody else got to get up in there. It's not a lot of other black people that look like me talking about AI. So I figured, why not put my own hat in the ring? Why not me? I wanted to be somebody that was also very quick, very early to talk about early trending topics. So I went to the one platform where you're always going to see things as soon as they come out, and that's Twitter. People sleep on the fact that companies, influencers, they treat Twitter as their own PR newswire. You can see this is 26 minutes. This is literally 31 minutes ago where they're just dropping a new feature on Sora. I worked in social for a long time. These startups, they treat Twitter as their newswire. This is guaranteed minute by minute breaking stories, breaking news. So now the task was simple. How can I scrape it? We're gonna actually go super deep into a full content strategy. You can see here all this stuff that we have in terms of the idea, the supporting data, and analyzing the topic, the actual contrarian take, etc. Not only that, we're also going to get a full daily report that's sent to us every single morning of top tweets, trending topics, sent to our email every single day with the best stories in AI or whatever your niche is. So you can also literally use this Twitter scraper to basically put together your own newsletter. You can see here, it's literally giving me the tweets that are trending on X. It'll actually take you straight to it. Without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the automation and break it down step by step. If you just want to download this full N8N automation, it'll be in the classroom section under the viral content creator. You can go ahead and grab that, but pull up, show love. There's literally over 400 people in here from all over the world We're going to be literally going live doing office hours 3 times per week, where I'm just going to be working on my own automations, working on my own content, so you can pull up with technical questions about your automations. Or if you just want to pull up and talk shop, we'll be there too. The link will be in the description. Let's go ahead and get into the automation. I don't want to waste any more time. I'm not even going to talk about the trigger because that's just going to be a manual one. But after this, the first step is basically to set the URL that you actually want to scrape on Twitter. I used a list because it's just way easier for me. I get to just compile all the best people to follow into one list. You can see I have my AI entrepreneurs list. It only has 25 members. So you don't want to just bloat this with everybody. You want to make sure it's just people who you want to follow, people who are posting stories that you want to make sure you're scraping and keep an eye on. So for me, I've got obviously Cursor, I've got Google OpenAI in here, but I also have just like different influencers that are giving their own takes about AI and tech because they might be seeing something that these companies aren't talking about. I was already following a bunch of these people, and then Twitter just recommended different AI people. But if I want to just add RPN himself, go to his profile, go to add remove lists, add him in the list. Easy work. Then once you have that list, go into it, grab the link, come back in the N8N, and you're just going to do a set fields node. That's all this is, just like an edit fields node. I just renamed it. And you're just going to create your own variable for this URL. Super easy, super simple. That's the first step. So rather than having to like just scrape one profile or a bunch of profiles, put all the profiles you want to scrape in one list and add that URL back in here. And after that, we actually want to do the actual scraping. This is obviously everybody's favorite activity, scraping websites. For this, we're going to be using an Apify scraper. But to actually be able to set this up, you can see you have to be able to change the method, the URL, the JSON body, etc. How do I do all this? You can see Apify is super lit. One of my favorite websites ever, to be honest. You can really pick out any website and scrape from there. Facebook, TikTok, just any website you want, Google Maps, Instagram, etc. So it's honestly amazing. If you want to scrape anything, you can just come here, find these really cool scrapers, and they're super cheap. We're looking for a Twitter list scraper. So I'm going to specify that. You can see I'm using this one right here, and 40 cents per 1,000 tweets. I mean, disrespectful numbers right there. If we come in here to the console, now we can basically control and get all the configurations we need. Saying the word configurations is crazy, but I'm a developer now, so that's just what we're. To get the URL, all you're gonna do is go to API endpoints, and then grab it from in here. We're looking for running the actor. Actor is what they call their scraper, and getting the dataset items. So we're just gonna copy this and add that in here. This is the exact same URL right there. And then obviously we want to check off send body. And then for the actual body, we're going to come back in here. We're just literally going to basically add in start URLs, the URL that we want to scrape. So that same list URL that we added in N8N, just put it in here. Keep this custom map function, what it is. Go over to JSON, and then copy this and add it into N8N. And as you can see, that's the same exact thing. Max items, 50. What do you think that is? The amount of tweets you're gonna scrape. If you wanna scrape 100, if you wanna scrape 1,000, this is where you would change that at. Yours will look different. Yours will just be the URL that you put in Apify. But I wanna be able to change mine dynamically inside of N8N versus having to go into Apify every single time. So I literally just deleted what was in here before from Apify, came in here, and then just dragged in my result. It's already translated that over. So if we run these two, we will officially scrape Twitter. We'll scrape our list and get the 50 tweets. Just that easy. We've already scraped 50 tweets. And I never like to undervalue the power of automation. Imagine how much time it would have taken you to collect all this information for 50 tweets. That just took us less than 45 seconds. You can already see it brought back that tweet from OpenAI that's talking about how, oh, that's insane. You can get in without an invite code in the US, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's fire. So they just open it up. See, this is the type of stuff we want to be talking about. We want to be able to say, Sora now open for everybody, no invite code needed. And you can see it also gave us the retweet count, number of replies, number of likes, etc. So it's going to be easier to figure out which ones are honestly the most popular, which ones are the most trending, etc. That's what we're on the way to doing right now. I'm going to go ahead and pin these two so that I don't have to keep rerunning those. Now You want to add in this aggregate node right here. This is basically just going to put all of these 50 items into one. So the Twitter analysis can just deal with one instead of 50 individual and have to run 50 times over. So you can see if I click in here, it's literally just taking all the items and putting it into a data field. Then we're going to take that into the analysis. The analysis is the big fella, the one and only. This Twitter analysis is what's actually going to tell us what's trending. What stories do we need to be paying attention to? What may just be noise? By the way, this is a LLM chain node. You can see here. You could also use an AI agent here. I talk a lot about AI agents. I have a bunch of videos on them. This system prompt will also obviously be included in this automation template. So if you want this full prompt, just download the automation. This is acting as the social media analyst. So it's analyzing the array of the multiple tweets. Its primary goals are to identify the most engaging tweet, extract the recurring themes and trending topics. So that's already going to give you that first mover advantage with actual interesting content. It's going to identify the top 5 tweets. I did this by engagement score. Lord knows Google has more followers than an influencer that still may have something super important and super relevant that they're saying. So I don't just want to base it based off of likes, because Google's likes might be through the roof. So this is based on an engagement score, which is basically an equation that's just taking follower count more into account. We're going to be able to see the full tweet text, the username of the author, the follower count they have, how many likes, how many retweets, etc. And then of course it's going to give us those trending topics, keywords, concepts, specific tools that are mentioned repeatedly across multiple tweets. This output format is pretty self-explanatory stuff. You can see when you download the automation. Other than that, I just included OpenAI as a model that I'm using. And for the output, I obviously want this to be a certain way. So I have created a structured output parser to just be super strict in saying, no, I need the JSON format to be like this. If I go ahead and unpin and then run this, it's going to do the full analysis on all 50 of those tweets to figure out trending topics and what's up top. So if you're in AI, I'm about to probably drop this like the day after I record, you're also going to be able to see what's trending. So let's go ahead and run that hoe. You probably want it more than me. So we're back. That definitely did take 2 minutes. So just heads up there. As you can see, it brought back the full analysis. It was literally giving us the top tweets. You can see this one. 6 months ago, we introduced something. Today we launch it. I can literally just go to the Twitter URL and see what the actual tweet is. Robot.com. I was nowhere near in the loop about this, but now I have a full interesting content piece to talk about that literally dropped today. This is already going to work perfect for me, and I haven't even gotten to the full content generation yet. But that's why I love this so much. This is so helpful for me because I get to be on the cutting edge of new stories, new releases, new drops. Startups drop their news on Twitter. It's also now giving me back the trending topics, which are agentic coding and next-gen developer workflows, AI video generation, AI education, and prompting best practices. For me, that's a great list of 5 trending topics. And obviously, that's going to change every single day. So if there's ever a day where you feel like these topics don't resonate with me, just literally wait another day and you're going to see new topics come to the surface. That was the analysis. But obviously, we want to be able to capture that, bring that in somewhere. Even if it's not being analyzed on yet, we still want to make sure we hold that in our database. So I'm going to use Notion to actually hold all that data. You can see it only brought back 1 item. We want to split that out into the top tweets. So I'm going to run this, and what it's going to do is just split out all those tweets so I can save that in Notion. You can see that changed to 5. Notion is super fire to me, better than Google Sheets, better than Airtable. It's just more aesthetically pleasing, to be honest. So I think for designers, for creators, this is the best database platform in my opinion. This is where I created my database. Obviously, you can name this whatever you want. I just created it like this because I'm swaggy. For the actual columns, you just want to set up columns in here that match what the actual N8N automation brought back. Hold on, I got to sneeze. You can see here, it's bringing you back the tweet ID, the tweet text, the count, the engagement score, and the URL. So all I did was literally just set up those same columns right here. And then to actually be able to connect Notion inside of N8N, all you're going to do is, I've shown this so many times, but I know there's new people to the video. Go to settings, go to connections, go to develop or manage integrations, and you're just going to create a new integration. You can see new integration here. Once you go through that process, you'll get this internal integration secret. This is basically just like your API key. Once you have that, all you're going to do is take that back into N8N, create a Notion node. This is just a create a database page Notion node. You're going to create a new credential, and then where they ask for that secret, you already know. Easy work, bro. I'm trying to tell y'all, dog, being a developer is not that crazy. Way better than being in sales. Once we have that set up, we can map each column to what's being received. So for example, I would go to add property. I'd pick the column, let's just say engagement score. And then where it says number, I'm just dragging that over. But I'm not doing that because I've already done that. Also, I know I'm going fast here. This is just because I'm transitioning to trying to post more content, so I don't have as much time to go individually node by node super detailed. But I'm happy if you join the school community. And my office hours bring this in. If you have any questions, just let me know. If I go ahead and run this and go back, it should now be adding those new tweets, as you can see, inside of the database. New Twitter stories, new top trending tweets like we just saw. And we get not only the like count, but we actually get the actual tweet. So we can just go in there and see what's going on. Let's see what else is in here though, actually. So we got this Hailu dropping their new generating tool. I'm assuming this is either image or video. This will be another great piece of content that I could talk about how this just dropped. Realistic motion, emotional precision, etc. I could do like a comparison and contrasting this with Sora and VO or Nana Banana. It's great just to be able to every single day wake up to 5 trending early news stories. This is literally posted October 29th today at 8 a.m. So literally I could be posting about this in the next hour, get it up in 2 hours, and I'm still within 12 hours of this announcement being posted. This is what I'm talking about in terms of being first mover advantage, being the quickest person to a story before everybody else crowds the scene. This is how you can get the first mover advantage and honestly dominate content right here. Also connected to this is this set fields, because we basically just want to set the variable for all this Twitter analysis as X data. I'm just going to go ahead and run this so it's ready, and then I'm going to pin that. And so now everything in terms of the Twitter scraping and analyzing is done. We scraped our list. We've analyzed everything that came in. We've got our trending tweets, our trending topics, and now we can quickly just do more research on those topics so we have more context, more information to work with. For that, we're going to use Perplexity. I know y'all using comment browser. Is it good? Is it fire? I haven't used it yet. Let me know in the comments, dead ass. I'm really thinking about it. Obviously, OpenAI just dropped Atlas and shit. Guess how I found out about that? The Twitter scraper. To create your Perplexity credential, you don't need to have a Perplexity subscription to run their API. All you got to do is go to their website, go to account, API, and then API keys. Should be somewhere around this motherfucker. API keys, go crazy. You can see here, the main prompt that we're doing is just using this as a straight up research assistant. If you've been keeping count, technically have 2 employees that are working for us right now. This prompt is basically just taking in those trending topics that we got from the Twitter scraping and then finding recent and credible information about them that are unique, lesser known, and novel. So we can use that for our content strategy later down the road. All I'm doing for this is just plugging in those topics that came in through there. I didn't want to plug in the tweets because sometimes an influencer might post some silly ass meme shit that will have the actual release at the bottom. I didn't want Perplexity to be reading that and be like, what are you doing? I'm asking for an overview, a visual analogy, and what niches stand to benefit. It just makes it super easy to paint a picture during videos to make it way more compelling. And also to be able to say, hey, if you are a dev, if you are a e-commerce store owner, etc., this will benefit you. Now, if I go ahead and run this, it's going to go ahead and do the research for me. And then we can, I just thought about the fact that niggas are literally about to get rich off AI. That's so crazy. That took about 54 seconds. God forbid you try to do that yourself. That's a good hour, 2 hours down the drain real quick versus literally less than a minute. You can see it has basically bundled everything into this message. We want to be able to parse that out, put it inside of our Notion, but also use that for further analysis. So we want to come in here, create another LLM chain. That's all this is. And all we're doing with this is basically using this for JSON formatting. I want to extract all the 5 stories and then Just like how before I showed you how I wanted like the topic, key insights, visual analogy, most benefited niche. Obviously the full prompt will be in the automation when you go download it. And in the meantime, this edit fields, all this is doing is the same exact thing that this edit fields is doing before. It's just setting the perplexity output as a variable. You can see this is just saving it as perplexity data. This is going to combine with this one and go into this merge node. But this is all ready. So we can now peep actually what perplexity brought us back. So you can see in terms of the agentic coding topic, this is the key insight. This is the visual analogy, and this is the most benefited niche. Great information that we can take on early topics that are useful just for anything. Like if you have a newsletter, this is amazing. And we haven't even got to the content idea section yet. Like before, we don't just want to have that perplexity data sitting out. We want to store that in Notion so we can see it later. So I added another split out just like I did up here. You can see we have the 5 items that all has the topic, broke it down into these 3 different, very useful, very valuable insights that we're going to use. You guys already remember how to set up Notion, just like before. Figure out the exact columns you need by figuring out what inside N8N that you will be given. For this one, we already know we're going to be given key insight, visual analogy, most benefited niche. So that's all I did was create a Notion database with those columns. And then I literally mapped every single one. Just literally dragged those inside of here. Super easy work. Press play on that. Come back inside of here. I should now start to see the new trending topics coming into my Notion. So even before we have our content ideas and content strategies, we can still see what the trending topics are every single day from Twitter. So now let's actually get into the actual content idea generation and daily report. First and foremost, let me go ahead and unpin a lot of these, and we're going to go ahead and run this merge node. The merge is just bringing those 2 things together from basically 2 different automations in a sense. So that's why this merge node is in here. And then this aggregate is just basically combining those together. You can see we have our perplexity data and our X data. So now we can use that combined data to 1, generate the report and also generate the content ideas. So first, I'm going to do the content brainstorm. Obviously, you want to know how is it actually generating this content? What is it based off of? So Callaway is this creator. He's great about hooks, about really how to just create social content frameworks, how to create your script, how to lay things out, etc. So in terms of this actual system prompt here, all I really did was just make it an elite content strategy. Insane work that you can do this. It's basically going to help us create high performing content ideas based on Callaway's frameworks. The task for it to do is to analyze the scrape data from multiple sources, Twitter and Perplexity, and then basically analyze it like this. Identify emotional triggers, look for gaps. What questions are being asked but aren't being answered well? It's also going to do a lot of pain point mapping because at the end of the day, new features, new releases are super dope. Love that. But how does it actually resonate and solve people's problems? That's what's going to get people to watch, click, like, retweet, share. Some other favorite things from this content strategist is it's going to tell us common beliefs that exist and how we can contrast those, because that's really what's going to make that compelling content. Here are the viral content principles that this actual AI agent will be doing for you. Every content idea must incorporate these proven psychological principles of expectation versus reality, contrast as a curiosity engine, viewer-centric framing, multimodal alignment, and niche precision. We're using actual psychological principles, proven frameworks of how to make content that actually resonate. It's even getting very intentional and strategic with the hooks too. We have actual hook quality standards in here of no delay. The context should be in the first 1 to 2 seconds. There should be no confusion in terms of being too complex or technical or whatever. There should be no irrelevance and no disinterest. Just know what comes out on the other side will literally change your life as a creator. Generated successfully, that took about 2 minutes, 7 seconds to generate all the content ideas you will need, honestly, for the week. People pay a lot of money for elite content strategists. I'll just tell you that right now. But you can see all the stuff we got back in return. You know, the key patterns here, emerging trends here, mounting anxiety about creator ownership, audience hunger for practical step-by-step AI prompting techniques, especially in short visual formats. Getting a ton of amazing insights, all from this elite content strategy, giving us the full opportunity summary, which is there's an outsized opportunity in blending high contrast education with visual proof on agentic coding, AI video, and feedback analytics. So it's literally telling me exactly what the market is demanding in terms of content. That's insane work. I'm literally just taking time to read this right now. This is my first time saying this too. This is insane. Content must visually demonstrate pain relief, time savings, creative power, and recovered ownership. This is great so far. And now we actually get into the actual content ideas, why most AI devs still code like it's 2015 and how agentic environments flip everything. That could be a Twitter first sentence. That could be a little bit shifted. There's a lot you could do just with that title alone. We'll get the strategic reasoning behind the actual content piece, the supporting data. So we're not just talking out of our ass for real. And not only that, we get the target audience who is relevant for, we get the core pain point, and of course this contrast point. So this is what I really like about it. It'll literally show you the common belief for a good developer just needs a faster IDE or better autocomplete. But the contrarian take here is that you're bottlenecked by doing the work yourself, where agentic environments let you direct, delegate, and ship like a team of 10. So that's a great take in my opinion. And a lot of coders truly believe that just autocomplete is vibe coding, when really vibe coding is truly not looking at code that you shouldn't be looking at. So I'm already seeing different openings and content that I can go in and take advantage of for real. Here's the second one. AI video is in sci-fi. How a single photo becomes a cinematic scene in 42 seconds. So another great title that even if I don't use this exact title, I can easily reorient it just a tiny bit and still get everything I need. It's even giving me like what I should be doing for the piece of content. Step by step, record, uploading a photo, prompting a scene, watching VO, Sora animated, show side by side a flat image versus resulting video. It's literally hand holding you through how to basically create content based on trending stories and trending topics. This is crazy. It's even giving us the key visual to feature, which is a flat static photo being animated seamlessly into motion. It's even giving me a text hook. Imagine turning a selfie into an action scene. If you're in that target audience, you're watching that for sure. It's even giving me the literal spoken hooks to use, like line by line. How long does it take to make a movie-worthy shot? Watch this. One image, one prompt. Cinematic magic in seconds. Let's do it together. This is a crazy amount of detail. This is still the same content idea. It's still going. The outro is literally giving me the outro statement of AI video isn't just coming, it's here. Everyone gets the director chair. That's a fire line. That's a banger line. If you have a photo, you have a story to animate. So all of this for all the content ideas that it gives me, you can easily see how if this runs every single day and gives you 5 new content ideas, there's really no excuse for you not to be on the same trajectory as RPN, to be honest. But let's go ahead and run this report generator so you can see how you can get the daily reports sent to your email every single day of the trending topics and the trending tweets. Because honestly, you can turn this into your own newsletter if you want to. The system message, obviously where things get super interesting, is literally going to be designing a full newsletter, basically, in the form of a daily report. So I'm telling it about the input format. I'm telling it about the output requirements. But as you can see in this styling guide here, this is where things get real freaky, using inline styles for all the elements. So I'm literally telling it directly for the header banner, use this hex code for the color. Use these different margins and text aligns to design it a specific type of way. I'm now going beyond just basically sending a dry ass, normal ass paragraph to my Gmail. Full prompt will obviously be in the automation. But if I go ahead and run this, it's going to go ahead and create that full stylized HTML daily report. You can see in 47 seconds. This is what I mean by actually saving exponential amounts of time. We've generated that full report. Imagine having to code that yourself. Like, that's insane. Or even having to go back and forth with GPT to prompt that. It's going to take you a lot more than literally less than a minute. If I go ahead and refresh my email inbox, daily content report, it only says Alexis because I signed in with my fiance's email. I was building automation for her. As you can see, different. Literally creating your own, essentially custom newsletter with the Perplexity research, with the trending tweets with the amount of likes by each of them. And of course, we can get the link right to the tweet right there. So this is something that you could adapt to be your own newsletter, or you can use it as your own daily report. You could send it to your internal team and really impress them. So this full automation here can honestly change your life. I know for a fact it's going to change mine 1,000%. It'll give us a TLDR of what we need to talk about, but also what's trending on Twitter, what the trending topics are. The Perplexity research we did on each trending topic was going to give a bunch of context and detail there. Everything you need. If you're a content creator, there is zero excuses to not be the first to talk about new trending topics and trending stories going on in your niche. If you want to work with me to actually build a custom automation for you, just send me an email. Everything's going to be in the description that I talked about in terms of Apify, school, N8N automation. And don't forget about the office hours that we're going to have 3 times a week. If you have any questions, just hop on in there and I got you.